Are you happy that you made that endorsement in 2020? Are you happy with the state of America?
Am I happy with the state of America right now? Well, that answer is no. Do I believe we're going to get better? I believe in that. I'm an optimistic guy, and I believe we can get better. It's my job now to exercise my influence and share with this is who I'm going to endorse. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer is no.
So I guess The Rock is waking up. This video is brought to you by ground.news/Tatum, ground.news/Tatum. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notification anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, Dwayne The Rock has made his decision. What kind of money does somebody got to pay you? I don't really know what his motive is now, because it's quite embarrassing that he came out so hard for President Joe Biden.
So, guys, I had the opportunity to sit down with Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris to talk about a number of important issues that we're facing as a country. I thought it was a great and extremely productive conversation that we had. And as a registered independent for years now with centrist ideologies, I do feel that Vice President Biden and Senator Harris are the best choice to lead our country, and I am endorsing them to become president and vice president of our United States.
And then now he's saying, I refuse to endorse him. At the time, this is what I thought, and now I don't think that way. Are you happy with America? No, I'm not. But the viral of him in his interview, I think with a Fox correspondent, is going viral. And I want to play that clip for you guys so you see exactly what The Rock said, so you don't think it's just coming from me making up stuff. So Will Cain, on the Will Cain show, is interviewing him at this beautiful stadium. I don't know, what stadium is that? It look like the Eagles? Yeah, it's the Eagle Stadium. The Eagle Stadium. I can see a little eagle right there. Interviewing him in the Eagle Stadium, and they're having a conversation about this particular topic. Roll the clip, and then I'm going to talk about exactly my thoughts on this. Roll it.
So let's be direct. Let's be honest. There was a time that you used your fame, and it was a time that not everybody was happy. And that was a few years ago.
That's right.
And you made a very big point. You said, I've never done this before. I've never endorsed a political candidate.
That's right.
And you endorsed Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And I'm being real with you, and you're being real with me.
Sure.
A lot of people on Fox watching us, you and I talk right now, remember that and wonder about that. So how do you feel now in retrospect with that endorsement?
In what way?
Are you happy that you made that endorsement in 2020? Are you happy with the state of America?
Am I happy with the state of America right now? Well, that answer is no. Do I believe we're going to get better? I believe in that. I'm an optimistic guy, and I believe we can get better. The endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time. And I thought back then, when we talk about, hey, you know, I'm in this position where I have some influence, and it's my job then. I felt like that then. It's my job now to exercise my influence and share with this is who I'm going to endorse. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer is no. I'm not going to do that, because what I realized, and I didn't realize it back then, Will, but I realize it today. And back then, just like I am today, very lucky, I was then the most followed American man in the world, and I am today the most followed American man in the world, and I appreciate that. But I also realized that what that caused back then was something that tears me up in my guts back then and now, which is division. And that got me, and I didn't realize it then. I just thought, hey, our country feels like there's a lot of unrest. It feels like I would like things to calm down. Maybe we need a change. This is what I'm going to do, and this is who I'm going to endorse. The takeaway after that, months and months and months, I started to realize, like, oh man, that caused an incredible amount of division in our country. So I realize now, going into this election, I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't do that, because my goal is to bring our country together. I believe in that in my DNA. So in the spirit of that, there's going to be no endorsement. Not that I'm afraid of it at all, but it's just I realize that this level of influence, I'm going to keep my politics to myself, and I think it's between me and the ballot box. But I will tell you this. Well, like a lot of us out there, not trusting of all politicians, I do trust the American people, and I trust that whoever they vote for, that's going to be my president, and that's who I'm going to support 100%.
I like to hear him say that. But I want to tell you guys one thing real quick before I get into my commentary. This video is brought to you by ground.news/Tatum, ground.news/Tatum. I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, and I want to expound upon the reason why I love ground.news and the reason why I go to ground.news to get my articles and my coverage. Simply because this is the most comprehensive news outlet aggregate that you're ever going to see on planet Earth. And I actually want to go to the dark mode, so you can change the dark mode. I love dark mode more than anything. Let me change the light for y'all, but I like it dark. But anyway, you could go look up, you know, all of the hot topics. Obviously, we noticed that Dwayne Johnson had said he wasn't going to vote for Joe Biden. And then you can go through and say, I want a thorough understanding of what I'm reading, right? And you can look at the section right over here behind my head, and it shows the biases, which articles are left-leaning, which articles are right-leaning, you know, how – when was the last update, which this is at 53 minutes ago, 52% bias towards the right. The section right here also shows that. So if you want a quick synopsis, you hit left, center, or right. It'll give you a quick Reader's Digest version of the events pertaining to this. Also, there's a bias comparison, which is a new element here that explains to you the biases that are noted, so you don't have to do all the research yourself. If you want to look here, you can, or you can just go to the bias that you can read here that's already built into the synopsis for you. You'll find all the aggregate articles. If you're only interested in reading the ones that are left, click left. You can click center or right, and you can see what the headlines are. On this side also, you can see some of the particular news organizations that are biased towards one direction, and the ownership. How much of this ownership is media coverage from independent sources, from wealthy private owners, and the like. Also, it tells you where they're talking about this around the world. It's funny that they're only talking about this in Northern America when The Rock is a worldwide star. So that's pretty interesting to me. But make sure you guys go to ground.news/Tatum, subscribe through the link, and you'll get 40% off unlimited access, which is what I use. And I want you guys to know that ground.news is independently owned and subscriber funded. So they're not pushing an agenda for ad dollars. One subscription gets you all the news from all over the world. All right, now let me get you guys, my synopsis on what The Rock said. I do think, now let me put this in perspective because I do want to give a man some credit. I don't know what it's like to be the most popular man in the world, the most viewed man in the world, the most liked man in the world, followed man in the world. I don't really know what it's like. It's easy for somebody like me to be like, yeah, man, say what you really feel and do this and do that, because I don't have hundreds of billions of dollars on the table that I need to be nuanced in order to protect, if that makes sense. I mean, the man is viewed by a lot of people in the world. Maybe he has to be a little more nuanced. I know for a fact how he got tricked in 2020 because that's how my dad got tricked. That's how everybody got tricked. If you notice, he said that he wanted the country needed a sense of peace and normalcy. I'm paraphrasing. And that's what I think that my dad was looking for too, and other people. And I'm not trying to give away how my dad voted, but we talked about this. And normalcy, and that's what people were looking for. Trump appeared to them as so chaotic, getting impeached. It's a scandal every other day. And so people looked at Joe Biden and said, okay, maybe we could get to normal again. And then we can start just operating. It can't get too bad from here. Let's just get normalcy. Let's unite. And they were wrong. And The Rock know that they were wrong because it got worse. Even his endorsement was divisive because a lot of people that watch him and support him financially are conservatives. So his endorsement was divisive. But I don't like a person saying, I'll keep my politics and who I'm voting for to myself. I think it is just as equally invaluable for a person with that stature or that much popularity to be able to say, this is what I'm voting for and why. And I think it's open for discussion for anybody to vote for who they want. But you guys know me. I'm in the political world. I'm going to vote for somebody. I'm not encouraging you to do it, but I want you guys to know how I vote and why I vote the way I do. Because you can't let the cat out of the bag by going for Democrats. You got to then say, are you voting for Trump or not? And you don't have to necessarily say, I'm voting for Trump. You can say, these are the things that are important to me when I do vote. But I do appreciate the courage of somebody like him coming out and saying, you know what, I'm not doing it no more. So did Michael Rappaport say, I'm not voting for Joe Biden anymore. There's a ton of people that's like, I'm not going for Joe Biden anymore. I don't know how this man don't lose this election unless they do what they did last time, and you know what I'm talking about. But if we show up and show out, we will overwhelm them to the point where they can do whatever they want. They cannot overcome what we have done when you show up and show out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to ground.news/Tatum. Link is in the description section. I'm out.